You felt it for as long as you can remember, a subtle knowing that this reality, this life, isn't the full story, that something deeper is calling. Maybe it comes as restlessness, or as a longing you can't quite explain. Maybe it stirs in your dreams, or in the still moments when the world falls quiet. It's not your imagination, it's your intuition tuning into something real, a higher version of yourself, a greater reality vibrating just beyond the visible. And every now and then, it brushes up against your awareness. Timeless, infinite, waiting. Quantum jumping isn't about wishful thinking. It's not about forcing outcomes through willpower or visualizing harder. True transformation happens not when you chase, but when you align. The version of you that is healed, free, abundant, and radiant already exists. Not in some faraway future, but here, now, in the quantum field. The question is not if it's real, but whether your current frequency matches it. The quantum doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold sends a signal. Your body, your breath, your nervous system, they broadcast your state louder than your words ever could. As Bruce Lipton has shown, your biology is not your destiny. You're not limited by your genes, your past, or your circumstances. Your internal environment, shaped by your thoughts, emotions, and energy, tells your cells what reality to prepare for. And as Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches, if you wake up thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, and following the same routines, you're not just repeating habits, you're recreating the same timeline. To leap into a new one, you must interrupt that loop. You must stop trying to think your way into change, while carrying the emotional residue of your old self. Many people desire abundance while vibrating lack. They want love but live in fear. They chase health while holding on to doubt. The field listens, and it always mirrors what you are, not what you say. That's why transformation begins in the body, in the felt sense of who you are, in embodying the energy of the version of you that already exists. Ask yourself, how does that version feel in their body? What decisions do they make with ease? What kind of peace do they carry that you haven't yet allowed yourself to feel? This process is not about pretending. It's about remembering. It's about activating a frequency you've always had access to. When you tune your inner signal, mind, heart, and body, to that frequency, you collapse into the timeline that's already been waiting for you. The leap isn't linear, it's vibrational. The quantum doesn't ask you to prove anything. It simply asks you to choose. So the question becomes, are you ready to remember who you truly are, and to embody it now? Stop waiting for life to shift. The truth is, you are the one who shifts. Let's dive deeper. Quantum jumping is often misunderstood. Many think it's about imagining a new reality or wishing for a miracle. But at its core, it's about aligning with a higher vibrational version of reality, one that already exists within the infinite quantum field. Here's what the science tells us. Quantum physics shows that every version of you, every possible timeline, already exists, all vibrating in the quantum field of infinite energy. Right now, you are entangled with all of them. The key lies in this. The observer effect teaches that whatever you focus on, whatever you emotionally invest in, collapses that potential into your current experience. In simple terms, your attention plus your emotional state equals your timeline. Joe Dispenza explains this clearly. The quantum field doesn't respond to your goals, dreams, or desires. It responds to the energetic signature you emit. So if your attention is on what's missing, and your emotions are rooted in fear, doubt, or lack, you're unconsciously selecting timelines that reflect those frequencies. Bruce Lipton adds to this by showing how your biology is not shaped by your genes, but by the chemical environment created by your thoughts and emotions. Your body is constantly listening, responding, adjusting, not passively, but as a co-creator in your life. When you connect these ideas, something profound emerges. Quantum jumping isn't a mindset hack. It's a full-body transformation. Let me paint a picture. Imagine two versions of you. One wakes up and immediately checks their phone, slipping into anxiety, reliving old fears and stress patterns. Their body tenses, stress hormones flood the system, and the day unfolds in the same limited loop. Now picture the other version. They begin their morning with breath and gratitude. They feel into possibility, even before any proof arrives. Their body softens, their heart opens, their mind aligns with trust, their chemistry changes, their electromagnetic field shifts. That shift becomes a new signal to the quantum field, which then responds by collapsing a new aligned reality. Same person, different energy, different timeline. Here's what most people miss. Quantum jumping isn't about effort, it's about coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, body and energy align, when there's no inner conflict, your signal is clear. You're not divided, you're unified. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that entering this coherent state unlocks the heart's electromagnetic power and balances your brainwaves. You become a beacon in the quantum field. Bruce Lipton's work shows that when you shift out of survival mode and into trust and openness, your biology shifts into growth, healing, and new expression. So why is it hard to leap? Because the body is chemically addicted to the emotions of the past. Your nervous system is loyal to what's familiar, even if it's painful. So while the mind might try to leap, the body clings to the old self. That's why embodiment is non-negotiable. You can't just think your way into a new timeline. You have to feel it, breathe it, walk it, become it. Let's pause. If you'd like, close your eyes, take a slow, deep breath. Ask yourself, what timeline have I been unconsciously reinforcing? What emotional patterns have I been repeating on autopilot? And most importantly, what would it feel like, truly feel like, to step fully into the version of me who has already leapt? This isn't about pushing harder. It's about softening into coherence. It's about remembering that the quantum field is alive, aware, responsive, and your future self isn't distant. They're already reaching for you across the veil. Before we continue, take a moment. If this resonates with you, if something inside feels activated, leave a single word in the comments. A word that captures the timeline you're ready to claim. Maybe it's abundance, freedom, health, love, peace, or something only you know. Let it be a declaration, not to anyone else, but to yourself, and to the field that's always listening. The quantum field is always listening. So let's go even deeper. By now you've come to realize that quantum jumping isn't about wishing harder, wanting more, or obsessively visualizing. It's about alignment, about becoming a vibrational match with the version of yourself that already lives in the timeline you desire most. Here's the often overlooked truth. The leap is not something external, it's entirely internal. Most people imagine a quantum jump as some dramatic shift, an outer miracle that suddenly changes everything. But real quantum shifts don't occur because the world around you changes. They happen because you change your inner state. And the universe, governed by the observer effect, reflects that state back to you. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that when you close your eyes and go beyond the five senses, when you step away from your familiar identity, your name, your story, your body, even your surroundings, you enter the quantum as pure awareness. And from that timeless space, creation becomes possible. But it doesn't come from thoughts alone. It arises from the unified field of heart, body, energy, and mind, working in coherence. You must feel the reality before there's evidence of it. And this is where most get stuck. They think of abundance while feeling lack. They affirm love while still vibrating fear. They visualize healing while carrying the weight of doubt in their cells. But the quantum doesn't respond to mixed signals, only to coherent energy. Bruce Lipton's research shows that your subconscious runs up to 95% of your life. So if your core beliefs are still rooted in "I'm not enough," "life is hard," or "I can't have what I want," then no matter how hard you consciously try, your body, your biology, will pull you back into the familiar. That's why quantum jumping requires more than mindset. It requires reprogramming. And that doesn't mean fighting the old story. It means creating the new one. Here's how. Step 1. Enter the space beyond the self. Use breathwork, meditation, or deep focus to move past your identity and into stillness. As Dispenza says, become no one, nowhere, in no time, just pure consciousness. Step 2. Activate elevated emotions. Don't just think about the life you want, feel it. Imagine how your body would respond if you were already living in that timeline. Embody gratitude, joy, freedom, peace, not after life gives you a reason, but before. Step 3. Embody the frequency daily. Quantum jumps aren't one-off events. They're sustained through daily emotional discipline. That means noticing when old feelings return, choosing coherence, and repeatedly acting from the new identity. Step 4. Trust the field. Let go of controlling how or when your outer world shifts. Reality will reorganize itself to reflect your dominant frequency, not your timeline, not your calendar, and not your impatience. The field is always responding. Let's look at an example. Imagine 2 timelines. In the first, you wake up and immediately feel overwhelmed. You check your phone, stress hits, and you fall into old thought patterns. Even if you try to manifest, you're doing it from a place of survival. In the second, you pause, you breathe, you connect with your heart, you anchor into the version of you who is already living your highest reality. You move through the day aligned, not performing, but embodying, not for a few minutes, but for hours, days, weeks, until it becomes your baseline. Now ask yourself, which version is the quantum field responding to? Quantum jumping is not performance. It's not pretending, it's remembering. It's the ongoing practice of becoming so familiar with the new identity that your mind, body, and life begin to rewire. Dispenza calls it becoming familiar with the unknown, walking into uncertainty, not with fear, but with excitement. Bruce Lipton calls it changing the signal, telling your biology a new story through your emotional chemistry. So pause for a moment, breathe, close your eyes if you like, imagine, truly feel that the leap has already happened. The old timeline has collapsed. The new one is activated. How does that feel in your body right now? Before we go further, say it out loud if you wish. I am ready. You're not saying it for me. You're saying it for yourself, for your cells, for the quantum field. You've already come farther than you know. You've crossed thresholds most never approach. But here's the truth. The leap isn't the end. It's the beginning. You've already begun aligning with your higher self. Feel that. Let it land. What shifts in you when you allow yourself to believe, even for a moment, that the leap has already happened? Before we continue, say it with intention. I am ready. You're not saying it for me. You're saying it for you, for your cells, for the quantum field, for the version of you that has been waiting patiently for you to remember. You've come farther than you think. You've crossed internal thresholds many spend lifetimes circling. But here's what's essential to understand. The leap is not the finish line, it's the beginning. Quantum jumping is not a one-time shift. It is a living, breathing practice, a decision you make again and again to embody the version of yourself that already exists in a higher timeline. The real risk isn't failure, it's falling back into the comfort of the old timeline, not because it's better, but because it's familiar. Every day you stand before tiny thresholds, micro moments where the old and the new timelines meet. When self-doubt creeps in, when an old pattern tries to pull you back, when comfort disguises itself as safety. These are not signs of failure, they are invitations, tests, openings. The question isn't whether the new timeline is real, it already is. The only question is, will you keep claiming it until it becomes your new home? To sustain this shift, you must become deeply intentional with your energy. Every thought, every word, every choice is an offering. Are you feeding the old timeline, the one filled with fear, contraction, limitation, or are you nourishing the new, the timeline of expansion, trust, and abundance? This path isn't about being perfect, it's about becoming consistent. It's not about never falling, but about returning, again and again, to the frequency of your future self. That's where your power lives. The quantum field is not testing you, it's reflecting you. And your power isn't about forcing the field to respond, it's about aligning so clearly with your desired identity that the field must mirror it back to you. This is why ritual matters, not because rituals are magical, but because they anchor your focus, they ground your energy, they declare your intention. Lighting a candle, speaking an affirmation, placing a hand on your heart. These are not empty actions. They are signals, markers, declarations to the field that say, I live here now. Let your life become a living ritual. Let your mornings begin not in reactivity, but with stillness, a breath, a remembering. Who am I today? What timeline am I choosing? Let your days be filled with micro moments of presence, a pause, a whisper of trust, a quiet alignment. Let your nights end not in replaying the day's worries, but rehearsing the life you've already claimed. Say thank you. Thank you for the reality I am stepping into. Thank you for the shift that is already unfolding. And when the tests come, and they will, remember, they are not punishments. They are mirrors. They reveal the pieces of you still entangled with the old. They ask not for resistance, but for a new choice. The test is not asking you to fight the past. It's asking you to feed the future, to immerse yourself so fully in the energy of your higher timeline that the old simply dissolves from neglect. You are not just manifesting outcomes, you are manifesting identity. You are not chasing a thing, you are becoming someone. And that version of you already lives within you, not waiting to be created, but waiting to be unveiled. Pause, breathe into your heart, into your belly, into the place where you still carry tension or hesitation. Don't resist it, soften into it, and gently say, I trust the leap, I trust the shift, I trust who I am becoming. Even the slightest shift in energy right now changes everything. This is the work, this is the becoming. Before we move into the final part of this journey, take a moment to anchor your energy. In the comments, share one word, just one, that captures the version of you you're stepping into. Let it be your declaration, not for anyone else, for you, for the field. Take a moment now, share one small practice, one personal ritual, one quiet commitment you're making to support your leap. It might be a word you'll whisper each morning, a simple breath of intention, or a daily gesture that brings you back to alignment. It doesn't have to be grand. Let it be yours. Let it be real, because this space exists to witness you, to reflect you, to remind you you are not alone in this becoming. You have arrived at the edge of yourself, and in this quiet, trembling threshold, you can feel it, the pulse of the life you're already stepping into. Not the life you're still hoping for, not the one you chase, but the life you are becoming. The shift you're making isn't about adding anything new. It's about peeling away everything that was never truly yours. The fears, the doubts, the stories you inherited, the habits you absorbed but never questioned. Those things, they are not your essence. They were only masks you learned to wear. And now here you are, raw, honest, open, ready to dress yourself in the vibration of who you really are, ready to return to the frequency you were always meant to embody. Quantum jumping is not about chasing outcomes, it's about remembering. It's the sacred art of tuning into a timeline that already exists, where you are already whole, already free, already aligned. That version of you isn't far away. It lives in the same breath you're breathing right now. It's here, in this very moment. You don't access it by forcing or controlling. You access it by surrendering, softening into the truth of who you are and who you've always been. A co-creator with the universe. The field doesn't test you, it mirrors you. It doesn't withhold anything. It responds to the frequency you carry, to the clarity of your signal, to the coherence of your being. The more your thoughts, emotions, actions, and energy begin to move in harmony, the more life rearranges itself around you, not as a reward, but as a reflection. Here's the truth that carries you forward. The leap is not a one-time event. It's a rhythm, a living choice, a moment-to-moment return. Each breath, each decision, each thought, each whisper in your own mind is a crossing point, a choice between contraction and expansion, between hesitation and trust. Ask yourself honestly, am I choosing the timeline where I shrink, hide, and second-guess myself? Or am I exhaling into the timeline where I stand tall, grounded, radiant, exactly as I am? This isn't about perfection. You will forget. You will falter. You will return to old timelines sometimes. That's human. But the power lies in what you return to, in the vibration you choose to keep nurturing, in the story you decide to keep telling, through your energy, your presence, your attention. Ritual matters here, not because rituals are magic in themselves, but because they hold you steady. They give shape to your frequency. They anchor your focus. Lighting a candle, speaking a phrase, taking a breath with intention. These are not just habits. They are declarations. They are messages to the field that say, I'm still here. I'm still becoming. I choose this. So let your life become a sacred rhythm. Let your mornings begin with pause, with presence, with remembrance. Who am I today? Which version of me am I feeding? Let your days be marked by quiet returns, a hand on your heart, a breath that brings you home, a smile without reason. Let your nights close not in anxiety, but in gratitude for the future you are already living into. Say thank you. Thank you for the life that is unfolding. Thank you for the shift I am now holding. And when challenges arise, and they will, remember the test isn't punishment. It's a mirror. It shows you where you are still tied to the old. It offers you a chance to choose again. You don't need to fight the old timeline. You simply need to stop feeding it and feed the new one so fully, so consistently, that the old dissolves from lack of attention. You are not just manifesting events. You are manifesting a state of being. You are not becoming something you've never been. You are revealing who you've always been beneath the noise. Pause for one last moment. Feel into your chest, into your belly. Where are you holding tension? Where are you resisting? Not to fix it, just to soften it. And then gently, speak this truth to yourself. I trust the leap. I trust the shift. I trust who I am becoming. This is the work. This is the way. Let this be the beginning. Again, you've remembered. You've touched the edge of your potential. But now comes the real journey, living as the version of you who has already leapt. The greatest shifts don't happen in moments of grand inspiration. They happen in the quiet choices, the subtle redirections, the pause before the old reaction, the breath before the new response. You see, the quantum field doesn't speak English. It doesn't understand your plans, your checklists, or your affirmations. If they don't match your vibration, it speaks energy. And your energy is shaped by your habits, your patterns, your rituals, your decisions in the small moments no one sees. So let's ask the question that matters most. What are you choosing now? Not someday, not once you feel more ready. Right now, in this breath, in this thought, in this moment. What version of yourself are you feeding? Because that's the timeline you're activating. Most people try to leap through effort. They force, push, overthink. But true jumping isn't forceful. It's fluid. It's a deep yes to coherence. When your thoughts, your emotions, your body and your actions all tell the same story, then the quantum responds. No more hoping, no more waiting, no more bargaining with the future. It's time to embody the frequency you've been chasing. What does that version of you feel like in your body? What do they believe when doubt whispers? How do they move when no one's watching? You don't need to become that person someday. You need to remember that you already are. The only thing standing between you and that version is the story you keep repeating. So change the story, shift the signal, choose the frequency. This is your daily devotion now, not to perfection, but to alignment, not to pressure, but to presence. You're not trying to fix yourself, you're remembering your wholeness, and the field, that infinite intelligent quantum field, is listening, always. You are not a mistake, you are not behind, you are not too late, you are right on time. Right here is where the leap continues, not through noise but through stillness, not through chasing, but through trust, not through more effort, but through more being. So pause again, let this moment be sacred. Close your eyes if you wish. Breathe deeper. Can you feel it? The future is not out there, it's in here. It's inside your breath, your posture, your chemistry, your energy. It's waiting, not to arrive but to be activated. You are not meant to visit this frequency and then return to the old. You are meant to live here, to build a home here, to belong here, to belong here. So let this be your new home vibration. Peace, not panic. Trust, not control. Expansion, not contraction. Power, not force. Gratitude, not lack. You've rehearsed the past long enough. It's time to rehearse the future. It's time to walk like it, talk like it, decide like it, rest like it, respond like it. And yes, you'll be tested. Old patterns will knock at the door, but not because you're failing, because you're evolving. Each test is a mirror, asking, are you sure you're done with that version of you? And your response, through vibration, not words, is what creates your future. So the invitation now is not to do more, it's to return more. Return to your breath. Return to your body. Return to the now. This is your point of power. Feel into it. The leap isn't just something you made. It's something you sustain, not through effort, through devotion, through energy, through everyday magic. You've already stepped into the field. Now stay there. Stay long enough for the field to reconfigure around you. Stay long enough for your cells to recalibrate. Stay long enough for life to recognize your new signal and mirror it back. And when it does, not all at once, but piece by piece, receive it fully. Receive the new opportunities. Receive the aligned people. Receive the unexpected clarity. Receive the version of yourself you once only dreamed of, not as a fantasy, but as your natural state, because that's who you are now, and the universe doesn't need more people trying to manifest. It needs more people willing to embody what they've already become. So whisper it again, not for me but for the field. I am here, I am ready, I am already living the leap. Let that be your daily prayer. Let it be the signal that moves mountains, not by force but by frequency. This is the quantum path, and you're already on it. You rise where you claim, where you shine, without needing to explain, without waiting for permission. You rise because the signal within you is no longer dormant. It's awake, encoded in every breath, in every cell, in every quiet moment you choose alignment over fear. You are no longer waiting for the shift. You are the shift. Not tomorrow, not after healing every wound, not once you finally prove yourself worthy, but now, in this sacred ordinary moment, you're already tuned to the essence of your highest self. The code is in you. The leap is already underway. Let this be your rhythm. You rise with the sun, not in urgency, but in remembrance. You walk not to chase, but to express. You speak not to be heard, but to resonate, because your existence is the evidence. Your frequency is the message. You've stepped into a version of life where intention leads, where presence anchors, where softness is not weakness, but power refined. No longer pulled by the noise of the old timeline, you return again and again to the still point, your breath, your center, your knowing. That knowing says, I am the bridge, I am the signal, I am the portal. There is no other place to get to, only a deeper return to what's always been true. That version of you you've been chasing, it's not far, it's here, humming gently in the quiet space between your thoughts, waiting patiently to be embodied, not with force, not with perfection, but with presence. Pause. Feel the field surrounding you. Feel the life you're stepping into pulsing beneath the skin of this moment. Not the inherited life, not the scripted life, but the life you are now choosing. Whisper it, or speak it loud. I am aligned. I am leaping. I am becoming. This isn't an ending. It's a beginning. Not a finish line, but a frequency. A rhythm your soul already knows. You're no longer bargaining with life, waiting for proof. You're no longer asking, is it safe yet? You've made the leap, and now you live from it. So breathe like the version of you who has already arrived. Move like them. Decide like them. Love like them. Speak like them. Gently, clearly, unapologetically. This is embodiment. This is how timelines collapse. Not by effort, but by energy. Not by wishing, but by becoming. And if you forget, if doubt returns, you don't start over. You return home, to the breath, to the body, to the pulse of your becoming. And when you feel that pull, the temptation to shrink, to second guess, to return to the familiar discomfort of the old timeline, remember the version of you who chose this path is still here, still alive, still calling you forward, and you will answer, with your attention, with your devotion, with your being. You are not practicing to become, you are being to remember, and the field, the quantum, infinite, responsive field, it's not watching you, it's dancing with you, matching your rhythm, reflecting your signal. You are no longer becoming the future, you are living the leap. Now, always, again and again. So do not shrink, do not bargain with your light, do not ask for permission to become what you already are. You rise, you leap, you sustain. If even a small part of this journey has resonated, if you felt a flicker of knowing in your chest, a soft, undeniable yes in your heart, honor that, not because you need to do anything more, but because something within you is already shifting. It always was. You're not watching this to be entertained. You're watching because something deep inside you remembers. This isn't about following another path. It's about remembering your own. You're not here to mimic someone else's leap. You're here to claim yours. So if your soul feels stirred, not by hype, but by resonance, I invite you not just to subscribe, but to declare yourself a co-creator, a conscious traveler, a being who no longer asks life to change, but becomes the change that life mirrors. And if you feel called, drop a word, just one word, in the space below. Let it be your signal. Let it be your imprint on the field. Freedom, expansion, peace, reclamation, wholeness, or something no one else would understand but you. And that's what makes it sacred. Write it not for the algorithm, not for validation, but for the field that is always listening, always reflecting, always amplifying what is spoken with clarity and embodied with love. Because the moment you speak that word, the quantum hears you, and it begins aligning the threads of reality to meet you there. Not one day, not someday, now. You are not just a witness to this shift, you are the shift. You are not meant to observe the magic from afar, you are meant to be the magic. And the more you remember that, not just in the quiet moments of meditation, but in the messy, real, everyday edges of life, the more the field begins to conspire with you. You don't have to do it perfectly. You only have to stay awake, stay soft, stay aligned. So let this be your invitation. Don't chase the leap, live it. Don't wait for signs, be the signal. Don't ask if you're ready, you are. Let each morning begin with presence. Let each word you speak carry frequency. Let each moment you choose love over fear become another step into your highest timeline. This is not the end. It's the start of a new rhythm, a new identity, a new way of being that isn't about becoming someone else. It's about coming home to the you that's always been waiting. So take one last breath now. Feel it, not with effort, but with reverence. You are not on the verge of the leap. You are in it, and the field is already responding. Keep leaping, keep remembering, keep becoming. The quantum is listening, and it will always, always answer your frequency.